All right, welcome to episode 9 of the Hardcast podcast. Welcome to our new introduction. Was that not badass or what? Trinity, producer Trin, got that new intro for us. That thing rocks.
Trinity did it all. She asked us to step on there and try to find something.
Yeah.
And typical fashion, we didn't respond back to her.
I did. I was like, I like him. I like him. It's up to you. You do it. And she did it. But this is, episode 9 of the Hardcast podcast. The first 8 episodes have been unreal. I think they've surpassed Joe Rogan in all 8. If I'm not mistaken, the live viewer count is probably 1. Sandy Kurt, maybe Paula Keefe.
Yeah, I told her, but we'll see if she can figure out YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, mom was texting.
So Sandy Kurt, what is up? Anyway, on behalf of myself, Brian Baker, and Dr. Trent Kerr, welcome to episode 9 of El Hardcast podcast for our Spanish-speaking fans out there. In studio guest this week, Tryston the man Keefe. All right. Grew up here in Wiggins.
Yep.
Wrestled here in Wiggins.
Yep. Was
a farm boy member, athlete. Then went to the Navy.
Yep.
You were in the Navy 5 years?
5 years.
Came back, has been back, works locally, still competes. And that's what we're kind of here to talk about. What have you competed in lately? What kind of training are we doing? And how do you go in and out of these training cycles? Trent, we're going to talk to you as well. You've kind of done the same thing he has, and kind of what you guys have been focusing on, right?
Yeah.
So right now, we all know what I've been focusing on, Hero Wads every day, right? To lead up to the 24 of 24 Hero Wads in April, which you guys are both going to be at.
Yep.
Yes.
But what are we concentrating on now, guys? You just got off a strength cycle. You just got off an endurance cycle.
Yep.
Both ends of the spectrum.
Yep.
Right?
Before we get to that, what day? What day are you on?
Today?
Yeah.
260 days today. And I want to thank you guys because they just worked out with me. We just came from a Hero Wad workout. These guys did it with me. Thank you.
I didn't do as much as they did.
Little push that I needed. But yeah, 260 days, almost to 100 left. It's going to be awesome.
That's
Almost
in double digits.
Almost
in double digits.
Yeah. I can see the light is starting to shine at the end of the tunnel. And I'm freaking I'm running as fast as I can, man. I'm ready to get done with this thing. But it's all for a good cause for my buddy Pat, as you guys both know. It's been great. And speaking of Pat, his sister Andrea, which we all know, she started working out at the beginning of the year, right? So we were doing those resolution stuff and all that. And she sent me a picture. She's like, I've had this membership to this gym for a while. And she's like, and I finally made it in there, right? First day. This is going to make you guys like a little chilly, right? First day she's in there. She's like, I'm going to go. I'm going to start doing this. Pat always pushed her to go to the gym. She came out, and there's a Jeep parked in the first parking spot, right? When she came out, and the license plate said Patrick. It was a personalized license plate that said Patrick. And she took a picture of it. She's like, that's not a sign that he's pushing me to do this.
Exactly.
So I was like, man, hey, can I share that on the podcast? And she said, absolutely, we can. So
awesome.
hopefully she listens to this. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
she started her New Year's resolution. She's going strong. I know you guys are going strong.
Yep.
But like I said, different ends of the spectrum. Explain what you're doing, Doc.
All right. So
or what you just got done with. Yeah.
So I started, I think as we look at our lives and our lifting schedules, it has to go kind of in a pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it does. I know when I'm my season where I can absolutely get after it, and I can maybe get 2-a-days in, and I can work on myself and really get myself grounded and back to where the shape that I want to be in. But then I also know the season of life that I have where I am busy. I am extremely busy. I don't have much time. So I have to get my diet kind of dialed into what I'm doing per that time of year.
Right.
So what I just came off of was a straight strength. I knew where I was at with my kids, traveling all over with basketball, with club volleyball, with work here. So it was, I'm going to work out one time a day. I'm going to hit it hard. I'm going to give myself an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes.
Right.
And I'm going to eat because I know as we go out and we eat.
I see.
Events,
You're already planning on I'm going to eat shitty.
Yeah, I already know what I'm going to eat. I know what I'm going to do. So what I did is
What he's saying is screw meal prep. Meal prep for the birds.
let it fly.
He's saying, I'm going to do
But-
strength, and this is a gaining
It
season.
is.
I'm going to eat like trash.
Yeah,
I
Eat
get
whatever
it.
you
Yeah,
want.
it's
Yeah,
smart. It
eat
was.
whatever you want.
You have to be smart about it, right?
Yep.
Because if you're trying to lose weight this time of your life, which it is for me,
Right.
it's not going to happen. You're going to be pissed. You're going to be stuck in a cycle. You're not going to.
Or it's going to be bad weight loss,
It
right?
would be
Right.
horrible weight loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be losing your muscle mass more than anything.
Mhm.
So just kind of knowing that, I switched everything because usually I try to do the opposite. Last year in February, I did the running.
Oh,
We
yeah,
did a
yeah.
quarter-mile run every day.
Oh, yes. That challenge,
We got
Teresa
it.
Fezaki and Trent
Yeah.
threw out a challenge for hundreds of millions of people. 2 people did it. Good for them.
All we did was end up with 7 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, Jesse Ensler did this, and he did a mile a day, and he did 28. The owner of the
Well-
Atlanta Hawks.
Well,
Right, but he's got a little different. life.
This challenge
It's different.
this challenge that Trent's talking
What we
about,
have
we started out with a quarter mile on day one,
Yeah.
and we added a quarter mile every day.
every day.
So it was
okay.
Half a
cumulative.
mile. Half a mile.
What was it, half a mile?
every day.
But Trent brought me this, was like, what do you think about this challenge? Start with a mile, add a mile every day. I was like,
Like
there's
this guy's doing
31 days, so you're going to go
28.
like,
That's what you do in
oh
February.
yeah. So February 27th, you run 27 miles. February 28th, you run 28. I'm like, so the last literally
Yeah.
3 days of the year,
You're running
you
a
run a marathon.
marathon.
No big deal.
Right, yeah. But we
3 days
changed
in a
that up,
row.
which was way better.
We did
Uh,
quarter miles, remember? Because you
was it
only
quarter?
ended with 7.
We did
Math's
7.
hard. Math's hard.
I'm a
Anyways.
doctor. But you're right. So but
He's
we-
a doctor, but again, if something happens, dial 911.
yeah, don't come to me. But anyway, I just kind of knew where I was at, right?
Right.
So it was straight up heavy lifting. I mean, we were doing 7x7s, 4x8s, just really trying to get that heavy lift. So
Mhm.
it was great. Just finished that up last week. Did my max lifts. Hit my personal best ever in back squat.
Dude, tell
Congrats.
him.
Back squat, 350 on the back squat.
Well,
And I'd
tell
never
him.
done more than 320 before. So
1,000-pound club.
1,000-pound club. Yes.
1,000-pound
1,000-pound club.
deadlift, back squat, and
back
bench.
squat, bench.
1,000 pounds of those three, that total.
So-
That's huge.
Yeah,
That is
never
huge.
had-
That is
had
huge.
done that before.
I've never even sniffed that.
Should have put that on the Yeti challenge.
That would be
1,000-pound
awesome.
club. Yeah.
You're part of that. We're putting that
You
on.
can get
there.
1,000-pound
It's
club
number
Yeah,
Yeti
16.
Narlo,
Yeah.
our Yeti, is part of that 1,000-pound club.
So yeah, that's what I just came off of, and now it's kind of dialed back, right? So now the diet has changed, and I gained 13 pounds over 6 weeks. I knew it was going to happen. It wasn't the
Good,
best weight.
good.
Most of it was good weight, but I did see a little
Dairy
fluff.
Queen?
Come on, no Dairy Queen.
Crumble?
No,
Crumble.
well, a little bit. Yes, you could, but you had to watch your fats. I still try to keep my fats around 50 grams a day.
I watch my fat go right in my
Yes.
mouth.
That crumble cookie. There were a few, and this last week was tough not to get the crumble cookie because they had a couple days there.
Did they have the cereal ones? Have you had the cereal ones?
They had
Cinnamon
Kentucky,
Toast Crunch?
oh,
That one's.
they had Kentucky buttercream.
Hey, so if you guys are out there, crumble cookie and watching this,
Oh yeah, sponsor. We're
Yeah.
a proud sponsor of
Sponsor.
our show, Crumble Cookie. That's BL, no E on the end.
so
Crumble Cookie.
yeah, that's
Anyway,
that's where I'm in. And then
So you went heavy. How'd
Heavy.
your joints feel?
great.
Great.
It
'Cause
really
volume
It was
The volume's not huge and you're lifting heavy, so reps are low.
right.
Keeps you kind of fresh.
That there was. I mean, it got a little. It was kind of going with. I mean, I can't say it was low. There was some 7x25s.
Oh,
There was
yeah,
some,
you
man.
superset.
I would
Yeah.
say the way I
Yeah.
was eating, it kept my joints and everything
Okay.
okay because I was eating 400 to 500 grams of carbs a day. My proteins were 250 grams at least. I just tried to watch the fats, but I was eating pasta, marinara sauce. I mean, I was going to town on
lose
rice.
the
and-
joints.
Yes, we went to PF Chang's and yeah. So there,
'Cause
it was great
appetizer,
stuff.
entree.
That right, everyone's like, carbs are so bad for you. Carbs are so bad for you. No way. You got to eat those carbs to fuel your body and fuel your lift. And
I'm with you there. Did you supplement anything for your joints as far as like
just
fish
oil.
oils?
That's all
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, and I do that every day.
Yeah.
So no matter what.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to be honest with my joints and my muscles and everything. Have never felt so good. But one thing that I did with this is so I kind of mix it up a little bit. And we usually do like a lower body split and upper body split, right? I lift every body part every day. And so when I'm doing that, it makes it so I'm still getting the same amount of volume per week that I
Right.
would get if I just hit heavy legs one day, just went all
But
legs.
you're not loading it
Not
on
loading it.
specific days.
So my body's able to recover a little
Gotcha.
quicker and I can go back in the next day and do it. I know it goes against everything that we've been trained on.
Ryan
it works
Fisher
for
from
me.
Chalk. Ryan Fisher from Chalk. If you follow him, he has
He does that, yeah.
he does
the full body aesthetics.
aesthetic.
Every
it's-
single day.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Alex
Pretty cool.
Ramosi, that's kind of what this kind of all around.
Yeah,
with this
I mean,
deal. So
I think, and you said it before, because you are a doctor. We are our best doctors. We all are our best doctors. What? Does that make sense, Trent?
I'm not a
We
medical
all
doctor.
are our best doctors. So,
Are.
yeah, we all are our best doctors. Anyway, I will quit saying that. But you gotta experiment on yourself.
You do.
Right?
You do.
And that's with
You
you
do.
with the time crunch. You know this time of year is going to be tough. You, on the other hand, just finished a half Ironman triathlon in Florida.
Yeah, man.
So-
that was great.
Appreciate it.
An hour and 15, an hour and 20 in, man, you're just warming up on your day.
Yeah.
Right? So
Mhm.
explain to us what you were looking at for training, right?
Yeah, so I did about like a 6-month training block, and like the first couple months are kind of a ramp up, especially if you're new to the sport, which
Right.
I was.
Mhm.
And then the like months, probably 3 through 6, that's when you get into your big volume.
Right.
And I mean, Saturdays and Sundays are my long training days, so you're looking at like a 3-hour bike ride followed by like a 2-hour run, and then Sunday would be like a 2 to 2.5 hour run. But then Monday through Friday, it was more of like training specific heart rate zones and
Gotcha.
like doing like running fast at like heart rate zones 3 through 4 for
Right.
3 minutes, and then
Gotcha.
coming down zone 1 and zone 2 for 4 minutes.
Can you explain those a little bit? Like everybody has heard like, oh, I'm going to do a little zone 2 training. You know, what does
Right.
that mean?
So I know everybody's heart rate zones
Sure.
are different based on your age, weight, and etc.
Yeah.
But zone 1 is kind of like where you're at a talking pace.
Walking.
Like you're able to talk while you're doing it. Zone 2 is kind of the same area. I know zone 2 is considered the fat burning state, and
Right.
that's what like a lot of people like to do their
Mhm.
endurance training on,
Mhm.
because if you train at zone 2, it gives you more volume,
Slow and steady.
yeah,
right?
and you're able to kick it on during the races more.
Right.
Then zone 3, that's getting up into the upper echelon, and then I know zone 4 and zone 5, that's like and your heart feels like it's going to beat out of your chest.
So that zone 2, a lot of people use that for their endurance kind of like building blocks, right? Just
Yep.
because you can put a lot of volume in zone 2. You know?
Yep.
But then you're doing the 3 and 4 because you're gonna be at some points raising that heart rate. You're
Yep.
gonna have a hill to climb. You're gonna have to either bike up or run up.
Yeah.
So you got to train those zones as well. But you're like an hour into it, when we're finishing up, you're kind of getting warmed up.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It was new to me because
Mhm.
I had never done, like, the most endurance I'd done was cross country, and it was like a 5K.
Mhm.
I'd never ran a half marathon. I'd never swam a mile and a half, or
Gosh.
even that was my first time on like an actual road bike where you have to clip in and everything like that. So it was all new to me. And training in zone 2 was mostly for the weekend. So it was like Saturday and
So he's
Sunday.
gonna say mostly for the week. I'll live in zone 2. I'll live in zone 2. Anyway, for the weekend.
Yeah, so like the longer training blocks, they want you to train in zone 2, so you
Yes.
can get that volume. But getting your heart rate up during the week was for like the intensity of the race, because you're going to
Sure.
push a little harder during the race.
Yeah.
There's other people around.
Yep.
And
did you train weights in the middle of that week too, or was it still mostly getting that heart rate up with the anaerobic?
so I had to find my balance, and I was training weights at the beginning, like squatting and deadlifting, and then I remember one week it was like starting to get up there in the volume of the midweek training and on the weekend, and I squat and deadlift that week, and it messed me up, like messed my whole training up for the weekend. So I kind of had to abandon the weights. Like I probably didn't squat for 5 months and probably didn't deadlift for 4 months.
Okay.
On Saturdays or on Sundays, I'd go in there and like maybe do some arms to make
Sure.
myself
Yeah.
feel better. So I was
Bro say.
Yeah,
You're gonna be
exactly.
swimming. You
Yeah,
gotta have your
yeah,
So-
exactly.
The start of this process, it was a 6-month process for you, right? What did you weigh day 1, and what did you weigh race day?
I was probably right around 177, maybe 180 on some days, and then race day I was like 160, 163.
So it was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because that's all I was
Yeah,
doing
right.
Monday through Sunday. Like I said, I kind of stopped weight training, and I was eating a lot. But on the bike ride, followed by a run, dude, you're burning, close to 5,000 calories.
Right.
So it's like I was still eating a lot, and I was eating as much as I could, kind of like you were saying, but I was eating whatever I wanted. I didn't stop like with fats, proteins, or carbs. I was eating all the time, but it's still, I was just burning body fat because
eat it. That's a good place to be. If you see it, eat it.
Yeah.
I tell you who was pumped about you doing this was your dad, because his dad, Ray, is a super road biker, mountain biker, he loves biking, and they gave him a partner to like go on long rides with.
Yeah.
I remember when I first rode with Ray, I was like, yeah, we'll see, dude.
I
barely hung on. It was like 20-mile ride, and I barely hung on.
He puts the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, and I was behind him.
him.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed. I was behind him because he was pulling away, and I was like, those are gigantic cats.
500 horsepower.
Yeah.
250.
He's like, catch up.
Yeah, he's an impressive guy. He did the Denver 100-mile bike race, and this is his second year doing it. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not spending 6 hours, 7 hours on the saddle.
Right.
I was like, I'll do 3.5 hours, and I'm good there. But he did the 100-mile race, and I did the 50, and he beat his 100-mile time by almost an hour from last year.
Mhm.
Wow.
And so he improved by that. And then going up Lookout Mountain, he beat his time going up Lookout Mountain from last year to this year by almost 10 minutes.
And his post-race nutrition was a little better this year.
Hit
The
the
year
bar.
before, well, he was new to the sport, and he thought, I'm going to celebrate.
Right.
I'm going to have a beer right
when he's
after.
done.
Didn't go down, man.
Oh,
Didn't go down.
Came
Got
straight
picks.
back up.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, all of us have picks.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's Ray, and that guy's a freaking animal on the bike. So great training partner.
It was great. And I appreciated the time like we had together because he was a runner before he shattered his ankle. So it's cool to go out there. And I mean, even though you're not talking a lot, it was always still fun to go out there
Right.
because I knew he enjoyed it. And like,
He enjoyed it. There was times he told me, he's like, damn it, if I wouldn't have gotten this stoplight, I would have smoked his ass.
yeah,
He's like, and then I'm waiting there like,
yeah,
doop, you know.
I'm gonna let you beat me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as we get up there in years a little bit.
So-
but
6 months, right? Of
Mhm.
just endurance training. Another tool we had, because we talked when you first started this, was my cousin Shane. Big endurance racer, big marathon runner, big biker now. Helped Tryston with his program. It was a huge help. So
Yeah.
it's just a cool resource we had. But yeah, so totally two different ways to train, right?
yeah,
And
not
they're-
even on
and
the
they're-
same spectrum.
And they're both right,
Yeah.
you know, because it's what you enjoy, what you love.
Right.
But you've done this as well.
Yeah,
Your training,
I was
I
gonna.
should say, your preparation wasn't as thorough. Because guys,
No.
Dr. Kirk came up one time and was like, hey, I'm going to do a I don't need,
I was just gonna do a try. And
yeah,
try and
put
ask-
on by himself, not
They
a
said, "Well,
race.
you're gonna go to a race. When is it? What is it? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna run in the country. I'm gonna ride a bike to Sterling. I'm gonna swim.
Yeah,
and-
all on his own.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you have biking shorts? No. Do you have
Do you have a bike?
goggles? No. Do you have swim tights? No. Do you have Camelback? No. I'm like, go for it. This sounds like a great idea. This sounds like you've thought this through, and this is great.
Yeah, you don't need that stuff. You're an athlete. I'm an athlete. I got this.
You know what you do need, even if you don't have any of that stuff, you do need Body Glide.
You
That's
did
one of
need
the things
Body
you do.
Glide. Body Glide
So anyway,
is excellent.
So Trent's done this same thing, but it was like a self-assisted thing. There was no aid stations.
No.
I don't even think his wife was in the state.
No, you guys were in Nebraska. And that's when I decided to do it.
Dude,
you guys were all gone. Well, you guys were all gone. I didn't want to inconvenience anybody. That was
Yeah.
it. It was like, because everybody, like Brian, and I know your dad, he's like, I'll ride with you. Brian
Yeah.
said, I'll swim with you.
Yeah.
I had people saying they'd run with me. And it kind of started to feel like I was inconveniencing everybody else. It was like, no,
And there's
everybody's gone.
pressure, and there's a little bit of
There's no
pressure.
pressure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to do it because
Yeah.
I didn't care how long it took.
Right.
I wasn't trying to beat anybody.
Mm.
All I wanted to do was do it. And
Now,
just get it
I
done.
want to tell everybody, he did it in a little different order. He did it in a screwed up order, if you ask me.
It didn't.
It
He,
fit my lifestyle.
He, did you swam second?
No, I swam last.
Swam last.
Swam last. And granted, he's there, and they're about to close the pool.
Well,
They're
yeah,
gonna-
I decided it on Friday night.
They're like,
right?
sir, you're gonna have to leave. And he's got,
Little kids
I
are
got
coming
so
in.
many laps left. They're like, well, kids practice are coming in.
Little kids
They
are
had
coming
to, they sat and cheered him on them.
Oh yeah, they sat right by me. So
Yeah.
started the morning with the run, right?
Yeah.
I want to get it out of the way before it was too hot. It
Oh,
was in
that's
July. So then got back to the house, and going back to the house, I thought it was going to be 12 miles, perfect, right? It wasn't. I had to run up and back, then I had to run around my house twice, and finally got it done. Then I went inside, had a snack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I nourished.
Yeah.
Right. And then I got my Camelback
Yes.
on, ready to go for the bike ride. And then I rode to Sterling on the bike. But yes, when I showed up at the pool, I said, how long do I have here? And I think it was about 11:30. And they said, well, at 1 o'clock, it's open swim. So, well, first thing I showed up at the pool and I'd been swimming inside, right? In their lap pool. And they're like, it's closed.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm thinking I'm
No
done.
sunscreen.
But I'm just thinking they're not going to let me do it because outside's for the little kids.
Right.
And I told them what was going on. They're like, oh no, you can lap swim out here. You're good. But no sunscreen.
No
Put it
sunscreen.
on
In the
before I
middle of
left,
July.
right? I put it on before I left the house for the
Yeah,
bike ride.
Sweat it off.
Yeah, it was gone.
Yeah.
And oh god, and I'm not. The ball. I didn't have a swim cap. Should have.
Right.
But got it done. But 12 laps in, I realized why you do the swim first.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
12 laps in.
12
was
laps
it a
in.
50 meter?
And so I was cramping.
Just about like 60 laps.
Yeah, I had a lot. I had a lot to go, but it was 12 laps in, and I am cramping.
Yeah.
Something fierce.
Yeah.
And,
Good thing there's lifeguards.
No, they were there.
And you could touch.
I went in and I nourished.
Oh, he could.
Yeah, I'm 5'10",
I
Brian.
wasn't a baby.
5'10". Splashing
Yeah.
around. But then
Thank you.
I did have to go inside and go to the locker room, and I had to bring out all my nourishment and brought it up to the pool.
He had to keep blowing up his heart. They kept deflating. Go ahead.
It was rough. No, it was rough. But
Is the thing around?
yeah, I sat there it took me about 3 hours, and little kids were swimming around me by the end. But I had one lifeguard, and he's like, "Hey, look around you." And I look up, and there's 4 lifeguards out. And he goes, "Every single one of these people is watching you. We got you, bud. So just keep going."
Yeah.
And so he was right with me. He got in the pool with me, started swimming with me a
That's
little
great,
bit.
man.
That's
And,
cool.
that
That's
is
cool.
awesome.
So yeah, we finished it. It wasn't in the time that you finished it, and I didn't do 6 months of training.
Well, you also, didn't you bike more than the 56
Six?
miles?
Yeah, I think it was 64, but that's what it took to get to the swimming pool. So that's just what it was.
But it was cool, man. That's so cool.
It
Yeah,
is.
we
It
gotta
is
do
cool.
it.
I got to give
We
you
gotta-
props because, I mean, doing endurance training that long, like all of us have done endurance training that long by yourself, it's not easy. That's
No.
something you have to get used to,
Mhm.
which a lot of people don't take an account for. I couldn't imagine putting all 3 together, especially in that order, and still finishing. So I got to give you
Oh,
props
wow.
because you were by yourself. It's not like you had someone on the bike to draft off of,
Yeah.
or hey, this person's going to push me on the run, So I got to give you props
I had
because
the
that
Ed
would be
My
tough.
Lap podcast in my ear the whole time, telling me, "Just keep going, brother. Keep going.
You
One
got
more
it.
rep.
Yeah.
One more rep."
Yeah.
So,
It gets
thanks,
hot
man.
out here. Jocko's like, good.
Yeah, good. Exactly.
I'm tired.
Good. Exactly.
Yeah. Jocko's in your ear.
That was it.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the whole gamut of training, right? From strength and powerlifting to endurance, we've kind of all
Been there.
flirted with them.
You leave
Right.
yourself out here, but you have the high rocks that you did last year
Done.
coming
50
back
miler.
after the injury.
Right.
And then the 50-mile
Yeah.
race in Moab when there's no Moab in Wiggins.
There's not,
No.
Yeah, the Moab race, 50 miles, it was cool, man. It was cool. But the training by yourself is brutal, right?
It is.
You have, and I tried to, like you were doing, not inconvenience anybody and not take away from family time. So, obviously I was a firefighter, that helped. So I had days off where I'm by myself and Michelle's at work and I can get those long runs in, but it sucks coming home from the firehouse thinking, man, I got a 31 miler
Yeah.
today. And just carrying your own food and just trying to make a
Mhm.
lap around the house so you can go back and get water and stuff. But it was cool to do. It was boring training.
Yeah.
Boring training. High rocks training. If you guys don't know what high rocks is, it's basically an 8-station race with various things, burpees, sleds, rows, ski ergs, but you have 1,000 meters of running before each one. So it's 8K of running and then 8 stations. Coolest training I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we all come from the CrossFit world somewhat. And but that was the coolest training. And I think it helped my body because it wasn't anything that's like brutal. It's not barbells. It's, it's wall balls. You just do a ton of wall balls and you do a lot of sled pushes and sled pulls, and those are beautiful for your body.
Well, just like the training of that. So when you sit it out, like, hey, man, you got to look at this and try it.
Yes.
It was something that was my Wednesdays. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go as far as I can every Wednesday and just see what I can get.
Right.
So, you said kind of what High Rocks was.
Yeah.
But looking at it, and it is, and it's not anything detrimental to your body either. Your joints are going to feel okay. Everything's going to feel good.
Right.
Because you're training so many different areas of your body in that lung capacity. So
Nothing's
that's
just
something
brutal.
cool, and I want to do that.
Yeah.
We got to do that here.
Well, and the reason, what's funny, I am the one that ended up doing it. I sent it out to you two because you two are the ones that first came to my mind, like these dudes would crush it. And my cousin, Shane.
And he did.
And he did crush
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I mean, he lapped me so many times and he would just smack me on the ass. Boom. Every time I'd be like, there goes Shane. But I couldn't hear him over my breathing. But I sent it to you guys because you guys would crush it. And like you in particular, at your age, dude, how strong you are and how fast you can run, you would totally destroy High Rocks. And no pressure, but I think you should do it. And so does Dr. Kurt.
That's your next one. Challenge. Or are you going for a full-on Ironman?
No, so I haven't decided because I just don't enjoy the bike.
See what the sponsors want to do. See what the sponsors want. What do the sponsors want me to do? Right?
Yeah,
Show
right.
me the money.
Exactly.
Show me the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me the
Right,
crumble.
crumble.
Give me the crumble. No, I haven't decided yet. Right now I'm going through the 531 training, so I've kind of been doing that because
Which is Wendler 531.
Yeah,
if
Wendler
you guys are
531.
listening, don't know what it is, you can look it up. Really cool training, but it's straight on strength.
Yeah, and it's super basic, but it's easy to do.
It works.
I mean,
It works.
he has a program called Boring But Big, and that's what I take on for my accessories. So I try to do that because it is squat, deadlift, bench, and shoulder press.
Yeah.
And so
3 major lifts.
Yep.
Totals.
Math is hard.
Yes.
That
Or
was
maybe
4.
four.
That was
But,
4.
Yeah, but there's 3 major lifts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And those, the bench press and the shoulder press.
I got you. I had to get a math as hard at you one time.
Yeah, it is. It is. 3 or 4 major lifts.
Or 3.5.
Or 3.5.
3.25.
Yeah.
Depending.
For those that like to bench, I'm pretty much giving that to you. Yeah, pretty much giving you that because you like to bench.
Yeah, you gotta have a bench in there every day.
Yeah,
Every
some
day.
people say it's not a major lift.
What?
Yeah,
Other than that, if you're
Shoulder
stuck
press.
underneath something, you gotta push it off of you. You don't tell me that's a major life-threatening issue.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Changing the
major lift.
oil and the car.
You never know when that's gonna happen. You gotta get it off.
Well, I better hope like a bicycle falls on me because I don't have 1,000-pound total, but I ain't getting out of there. Or like a Chevy Volt or something, an electric car.
Yeah.
Those batteries are heavy.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh God, can't even beat that. Can't even. God, man, I'm going green. Can't even go green. Anyway, back to what were you saying, Wendler?
Yeah.
I cut everybody off.
No,
Sorry.
you're fine. You're
Yeah.
fine. No, I've just been doing that. I'd love to do a full Ironman. I just think I need a little time away from the bike, and maybe come this summer when my dad wants to go on bike rides and
Yep.
stuff like that. Maybe I'll.
Again, and it fits your life again, right?
Yeah.
Right now in the winter, it doesn't. So when
Exactly.
your dad's ready to go and
And your
train,
dad-
something you kinda
yeah,
feel
Your
ready to
dad's
go.
starting to train on the 27th for his next bike ride
Yep.
because he's doing a triple bypass. It's 3
That's
mountain
3
passes.
mountains. Yep.
Oh.
Three,
Three.
3 hills.
And
Oh.
he hates climbing too.
That's what he told me.
We went up to Horsetooth. It's like, I don't know why we're coming up here. I'm like, you invited me up here.
This is you.
You hate
He
it,
said,
but
I'm doing this. It's going to be cool. I hate climbing. And I'm like, well, let's train you up. I said, you'll be ready for it. Probably still hate climbing.
Yeah.
We're not going to change that, but
your
And
legs
how
will
do
be
you
better
train
for
climbing
it.
again, like you with Moab.
It's hard out here in
train like?
Wiggins.
superset legs, man.
Just constantly crushing with weights.
Yeah, with goblet squats. Not like heavy loads. And with his ankle, he can't do heavy loads, but he can do loads and endurance-wise and just crush it.
Yeah.
And core, right?
Right.
The longer you can keep your core engaged and strong, you're going to be fine.
And in your lung
Yeah.
capacity when you're just riding the bike and doing all that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, his thing is too though, he will not eat. He'll feel good. In a 50-mile race, he'll stop at one aid station.
Oh,
And then you get beyond that. Like he did a 75-mile race in Granby, and he's like, I felt good for 3/4 of it, and then he bonked, and then
you can't make that up.
And once you start to feel bad, I notice this endurance training, it's over.
Yes.
You have to eat while you feel really, really good, which is hard.
Force yourself to eat, force yourself to drink.
Yeah, because you feel good and you don't want to. If I could go endurance training without eating or drinking, I would love to do that because I hate eating. It is.
Reaching in the backpack.
You're breathing hard. You're
Yes.
eating your
Fourth
stinger waffle. It's like
the strawberry is good though. I'm gonna give you that.
I like the salted caramel.
Oh yeah. That's the best thing.
The gummies are good. The little stinger
They
gummies.
took me. I had Shot Blocks gummies. They weren't stinger gummies, but they would take me like a half a mile to get down because it block your airway.
Yeah.
The stinger waffles, let's just get it done, and they were good.
Those make me gag now, dude.
Oh,
After doing this 6 months of the training, it's like, oh.
And then I did hit up Max Muscle South Metro, one of our sponsors. Contact Brian Cash. Use the code HLINE, capital HLINE, 15% off. Use it. Coupon code HLINE for Hardline Health and Fitness. Coupon code 15% off. Max Muscle South Metro. mm1.shop.com. Anyway, that's Max Muscle's plug.
I'm gonna have to get some
That's
more arm
Max
now.
Muscle's plug. Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Anyway, I asked him, I'm like, hey man, doing a 50-miler. I need to train because the most important thing is, right, you got to train with whatever supplements you're going to use in the race.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make sure it works with your stomach, especially endurance-wise.
Yes.
Stomach kind of shuts down anyway, and then you give it something crazy. And I've heard horror stories. Hasn't happened to me, but crazy things can happen on a course. Or maybe things come out that shouldn't in an unplanned time. Anyway, he hooked me up with basically quick carbohydrates and a good drink to take it in, and it was awesome. Your dad now has it. He was going to use it for a race, and I said, how'd it go during training? He's like, I haven't used it.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you mean? He's
That's
like,
him.
he goes, I was going to do it for the race. I'm like,
That's
don't.
him.
Train it first. Yeah, he's like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. He's like, I've been going on these 30, 40 mile rides. I'm like, dude,
anything over an hour,
yes.
This is what I try to tell him, but he's so
old school.
Yeah, old school.
There's no.
This just turned on to just crush and rake.
It is.
But he does good. I mean, he still does good in the races.
That's what this has turned into. So Paula Ray, if you're watching this, sorry, I didn't know it was going to take this turn. But we're talking about basically in-race nutrition and how he has none.
Right.
Don't do that.
Dude, I'm an aid station junkie. I will stop at every single aid station. Like, I don't care if, like, during my Ironman, people were so serious about, like, grabbing stuff while they're riding and not stopping. Like, I'll stop. I know. It's like, I'll stop a little bit and I'll eat. Because I hate doing it while I'm biking or running. So, like, I'll stop and, like, walk on my run and eat a little bit and then continue on. Because I don't know, if I'm really losing that much difference, if the minute it takes me to, like, I'm running too slow in the first place. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, that was my goal at the 50s. Run, walk through the aid stations, gather my stuff, walk and eat, and then run. Running turned into a slow jog, sometimes hiking. Yep. And then aid stations turned into like a full camp out.
Stop.
Yeah. I ate anything they had, cookies, peanut butter and jellies. I was crushing it. I was like a trash can, but I needed it.
Yeah.
You needed it to keep going.
No,
I think that's what made it get me through.
When you do it by yourself, there are no aid stations. So I didn't care. I mean, I just stopped. I'd walk.
Yeah. Sandy Kerr didn't pack.
Yeah. No, she didn't.
Where was Sandy Kerr?
Speaking of her,
Yes.
she did comment.
Sandy's
She
on
said,
here?
love these wonderful, strong women.
Oh, Sandy Kerr. She didn't pack a lunch.
No, my wife didn't either before she left.
But she was gone.
She didn't know. She didn't.
And,
But
Sandy Kerr.
she fed me afterward.
Oh.
We went to Pete's, had a birthday party for Captain Jack. So it was great.
Sandy, she never ceases to amaze me. That
it was great.
Awesome. That woman's a saint.
But yeah, I didn't mind walking, and
no.
So those people that aren't, like, yeah, I walked every time I was eating. When I rode the bike, I would be able to reach in and chew and go. But one time my butt hurt so damn bad, I pulled over.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I ate and I drank and I sat on the side of the road.
And Trent did this with an injury.
Well, I don't think that's ever going away. That's whatever it is.
Didn't
So-
you actually have to get off the bike and like lay down?
Yeah, the hernia is. But that's whatever. That's just I can't do GHD
Tie it up.
sit-ups either.
Yeah.
That's just gonna.
And to all those people that passed in their vehicles and didn't stop to say anything, shame on you. The guy had a hernia or something.
Just laying down like
yeah.
this.
The doctor said they don't do them anymore. They don't just shoot. If it's not bulging out bad, you're good to go. Just
Oh man.
So-
anyway,
Yeah.
so
So Ray, I'm with
self-supported.
you.
That's the word I've
I'm
been
with
looking
you.
for forever.
But, yeah.
Self-supported, no aid stations, hernia,
Here's the deal.
hardly any.
Here's the deal. What I'm saying. If you're
That's
gonna
tough.
try to win these things, and that's what
Yes.
like, this is your deal, and
And
you've
if
got
your
the sponsors,
sport,
and you're doing
yeah.
it. I get it. But for
like
us,
high rocks.
Right.
You're not going to
There you
stay
go.
for
You're-
water.
But for us, like just weekend warriors trying to do something new, and I mean, so anybody can do it, and it's okay to walk. You can run a mile walk.
Actually,
Run
at
a
High
mile walk
Rocks,
again.
At High Rocks,
Exactly.
I didn't stop for a drop of water because honestly, I didn't know if I'd be able to start.
Once you get the wheels going, sometimes
What?
it's
Yeah,
like, I'm
like-
not stopping.
And lately, especially after doing all these hero walks, I feel like the Tin Man, especially my shoulders. You know, in the Wizard of Oz, and there's that's what I feel like.
Oh.
Like I have to do mobility. I say I have to. I should do more mobility,
Right.
but I've been trying to really be good with it with my shoulders because I feel like the Tin Man. Like sometimes it's just like I'm really achy.
Well, you're young, right? Still.
Yeah,
So
right.
you how's like your body holding up through everything you've gone through? Because I'm amazed, and you've always kind of amazed me with this, but how you are, because 260 days of hero watch is
I work out every single day. Yeah.
man. That's
I don't
tough.
have a hernia though.
Well, that was football. Oh, football injury.
No, but I realized when I was doing this training, because before I was like, oh, I don't really need to stretch. Like I didn't really take care of my body before or after,
Mhm.
and I just kind of how I was living. And then like a month or so into the training block, I was like, shit, I need to switch things up because my hips were super tight. My back was super tight. I mean, like my shoulders were tight from carrying my arms too high, or my upper shoulders were tight from leaning over on the bike, and then the swimming too. So I had to really start taking time every day after I got done. No matter what, I would have to take at least 30 minutes to stretch. And then I got one of the massage guns, and that was a world of a difference,
Mhm.
like working those out. And so it took me a while to kind of get the hang of taking care of my body after working out because it was so new to me. But I mean, it made the world of a difference.
Well, his age still starts with a 2.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
at that level, you're still
Makes
okay.
a big deal. Yeah, I don't even need to know what age you are. It starts with a 2. Cool, man. You're good to go.
I may be 27, but the Navy probably aged me more
Oh,
than
that's
10 years.
that's true. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
thank you. Appreciate it.
So your dad, what does he ever? Did he ever say anything after you guys would ride those
Dude,
50-mile
this,
bike rides?
this guy he's insane. So I'll tell you a story, okay? Because I told him I got this big bike ride coming up, and I got to run after it. So it's like a 3.5 hour bike ride. So I was like, it's a 56
So you
miles.
did a brick.
Yeah.
He brick trained. I'm dropping knowledge. Go ahead.
And
It's when you do a bike run.
yeah, bike
Or a
ride.
swim
I call
bike.
that a brun.
Brick.
Hashtag brun.
No, but so he's an animal. He's like, meet me at my house, and we'll just leave from my house and we'll do this little course. And he's like, okay. And it was July, and it was supposed to be 102 that day. So I was like, let's meet at 10 so we can get it out of the way before the real heat catches
So it's
up.
only 90.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And like 10 o'clock comes around, he's not here. 11 comes around, and I call him. I'm like, where are you at? He's like, oh, I'm just leaving the house. I was like, okay. So he gets here at 12, and then it's like 90 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And I tell him, and he shows up and he's eating a granola bar. He's like, this is my first thing I've eaten all day. I was like, okay.
56 miles?
And me, I woke up at 8 on purpose to stretch, and I got a full breakfast in and all of this stuff in, and I've been warming up. And he's like, yeah, it's the first thing I've eaten all day. And I was like, well, what'd you do last night? He's like, well, we stayed out like at our friend's house till like 3 a.m. I was like, do you think this would be opposite? That
Yes.
your 27-year-old son
Yeah.
would be showing up late, hungover, right? And so we went on this bike ride, and it was going good until like the last 15 miles, and then he bonked. because he
didn't eat.
he didn't eat. He had nothing in his system besides some Bud Light.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he had plenty of Bud
Wasn't
Light in there. He was good to go.
Dad, I'm
Hey,
sorry
Ray-
if you're listening.
Yeah,
to
Ray
this.
Keefe. I'm sorry about this. This turned into the talking about Ray Keefe and how he doesn't eat and bonks.
But this guy,
You're an animal.
He's
Yeah,
an
that's
animal. We'll
You
finish.
probably still would
We'll
be.
finish. Yeah, we'll finish 45-mile, 50-mile bike rides, and he'll be totally fine. Like we finished this one in Denver that was all hills, and he hates hills. And I was like in the worst mood when I got done because I had to go run for 20 minutes, and I got done with my run, and my whole body was hurting. He's like, "Oh, that was pretty easy, huh?" I'm like, no, no, it wasn't
It's
easy.
the mindset.
It is the
It's all
mindset.
about that
Yeah.
mindset.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, bring on more.
Oh man. So what's in store for you,
Well, right now,
goal wise?
goal-wise is, I lose a little bit of the fluff that I put on over the
It was
over the
bulking
last.
season.
It was
It
bulking
was
season. It's
bulking
great.
season.
But kind of lose that a little bit, and then today, CrossFitting with you two got me a little bit, sparked on that again.
Yeah,
'Cause, so probably throw more of those in, but still running with the full body aesthetics. As I said, my body feels. I don't have any joint issues, shoulder mobility,
Right.
knees. Everything feels good.
Good.
And so I want to keep that going because to me that's more important than anything. Is that
Yeah.
I wake up healthy, I feel good, I can move around, I can do all that. But definitely get back into to the CrossFit a little bit because we have the 24.
He's got
hours
a
of
little
hero
pressure
WODs.
there,
Yeah.
and we've talked about it before. But we're doing 24 hours of 24 hero watts. So every hour on the hour, we start a new one.
Yeah.
So that's an endurance race.
It's
24 times.
Mhm.
20.
I-
That's an endurance race.
That is.
So you kind of counted up some of the things, and today you were like hand care, right? Did not even think about that. So like, how many pull-ups? Do you remember the number?
I don't want to know.
You had it in there, but there was an option. Like,
don't want to
you
know.
put in there
There's a
like
couple
so many
hundred.
miles of run,
15-ish.
50
Yeah.
miles.
Everything was
you run.
ish because of all the AMRAPs and
Right,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But it was a couple hundred pull-ups. It was roughly almost 100 muscle-ups. Obviously, if you can do them, if you can't do them, we're going to scale them.
Right.
But yeah, there was a lot of running, but it's split out, right?
Yeah.
But
That comes to two is nutrition on that day. How does that kind of happen? And then what are we looking at there? I didn't think about that until we brought up this conversation of, oh man.
well,
we
and
better
that's
bring
why I put out, this is going to be self-supported
Yeah.
as well. We bring coolers, we bring supplements, we bring things, and then every couple hours there's a hero WOD that's shorter or less intense on purpose, so we can take the rest of that time and fuel, and then that night hopefully take some time and sleep.
Get a little bit in maybe.
I don't know if that'll happen.
I said
but
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's an endurance race, so this is going to be, for one, can you get 24 of them done? Which I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you fuel properly so you feel good doing it? I don't know. So, but it's
You live and
gonna
you learn.
be a lot of fun. We're gonna make a lot of memories,
Yep.
and we're doing it for a cool thing.
Yeah, it
so
It is.
it's going to be awesome, but it's not going to be easy.
No.
And I think it's going to be one of those ones when I look back, I might say this is harder than a 50 miler, or you might say this was harder than a half marathon.
Right.
I know my cousin who's done the gamut of races is a super good endurance racer. We're talking about like came from Michigan, came down here to run the Denver Marathon, and took second in the elite division and had never run at altitude.
Oh,
so that's
wow.
the kind of
Yeah.
person we're talking about. Like, yeah, I'll sign up, took second. Not a big deal.
You're dead.
He did a 48-hour. You guys have all heard of David Goggins. We all have.
4x4.
He did the
48.
4x48. Yeah,
Yeah.
4x4x48. Every 4 hours, you did 4 miles for 48 hours.
I think that's awesome.
And he said, and I looked at it, and I still told him that's 2 less than I did. Whatever.
He's way more time. And way more time.
You did 2 days. I took 11 hours. But whatever.
And
But
I
anyway,
did 2 more.
he did that 4x4x48. He said it was harder than any other marathon he'd run.
Really?
Yeah. And he just said because it was just the constant,
It-
But
it
granted,
depends.
he ran these 4 miles. I think he was trying to
5
keep.
minutes.
I think he was trying to keep like sub 7-minute pace. Like it was something
He was
ridiculous.
moving.
He was moving. So when he went out to do the 4 miles, he's getting after.
I don't see
Yeah.
7 minutes on the first mile that we run in the 24.
I will not.
You laughed. I'm serious.
No,
Now you got me all nervous.
No,
No,
that
well,
just-
because I mean, something like that, it's a little different in that context, right? That's
Wow.
workout number one. I mean,
Mhm.
Still.
But yeah,
That's
he said just in that time frame, like it is, and it's kind of broken out like we're
it
doing the
is.
24 hours,
It is.
where it's just a cumulative effect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I keep telling myself, we've got to tell ourselves, we're starting this at 9 a.m. We can't start making assumptions of how we're going to feel that night or how we're going to feel the next day. It's going to be eating an elephant.
Yeah.
Hey man, or like that
Get
SEAL
through this to
thing.
your next meal,
Hey,
right?
let's get it
Yeah.
to our next meal.
Yeah.
We cannot get into our head, man, we're going to feel like shit at 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then you are,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're going to feel like we're going to feel.
Yep.
But I
Mhm.
just need to get through next hour. But the thing is, we've got everyone. I know if I'm struggling, Trent's not going to care about running an 8-minute mile. He'll run the 10 with me.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll
It's-
be there together.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, and I think that's a cool thing. I think first of all, like I appreciate the invite. Like
Oh.
I think it's cool that you're doing it and like you had the idea of doing it, and you're not just talking about it, like you're putting pen to paper, like we're actually gonna do this thing. And I think that's a cool thing. Like with, I mean, us three, I know there's really not going to be any egos going into it, the first workout, let alone the last workout, let alone at midnight. Like
Right.
nobody's really going to be like, I don't care if I get beat at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
I don't care if I get beat 24
9 a.m.
times.
Yeah, like
Right.
that's the thing. Like I don't think there's any egos about
No,
it. So I
it's
think
just
that's something that's going to
Get
be,
in and get work done.
Yeah,
together for a good cause. And,
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
going to be super helpful that way.
It's going to be freaking awesome.
it will be.
It is.
And if you guys would remind me, I knew this would just be shooting the shit. I'm
Yeah.
having a great time. Anyway, remind me to take pictures.
I'm the worst.
I am the worst too. So
Yeah.
we're both the
We got
worst.
Trinity from the back. She'll
Trinity
be
will
there all
take them.
night. So she's going to
She'll be there. Yeah, she'll be there. We'll probably be running podcasts.
Perfect. Well, we'll schedule different people. Right?
Yeah.
You get a 6-hour shift, 6-hour shift, 6-hour shift, 6-hour shift. Yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah, we'll, be good.
Okay.
We'll try to
For a reason.
right. We'll try to do a podcast with Matt Chancellor. We'll try to.
Right.
He's coming for a couple hours. We'll try to do a quick little go live with him.
That'd be good.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, that's going to be so cool. But that's like a total different way to train.
It is.
And I
And
no, I don't even know how to train.
I was
For
about to say, can you actually train for it though? That's the
I
thing.
think it's all mental.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of what.
I mean, physically you can do it or you can't.
right.
But
I mean, I'm gonna have to start training some of the movements again.
Sure.
The cleans, those
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah.
But when you get there, you get there. You
Yeah.
just have to go get
because
it.
there's some heavy stuff. Like, and when I look at it, when I program that 24 hours, there's a few, like, I'm going to scale. So there's no,
I think there's a
No
clean
joke.
at like
225
225 or 205 at like
It's a
midnight or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Like,
I was
I don't know
thinking the
about
same
that.
thing.
but there's some,
My
there's
head
some
already
that there's some that are there that I'm like, I will not scale big sexy.
That one's
It's on-
225.
That's a
Which
225
one's
clean,
big
that's a
sexy?
315 deadlift, and then that's a
that a
155
4-3?
thruster. It's a 654.
654.
How many rounds?
I think it's 5. So you've got, I could look it up, but it's like
Yeah, I
6
gotta start
deadlifts
tracking
at
that clean.
315.
I can start tracking
It's
that.
5 cleans at 225, and then it's 4 thrusters at 155. You have muscle ups in there. Think chest to bar and something else. Anyway, but that's one that I've done that workout. It took me a long time, under an hour, but I will not scale that one because that one's just in my mind like,
Get it
screw
done.
you. Big
Well,
Sexy's
you've
not
already
beating
done
me.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big Sexy's
Yeah.
not beating me.
Yeah.
And like I look at old school CrossFit workouts, like that's CrossFit Hero One. When it says clean,
Squat
that's
clean.
that's a full clean.
Yep.
You know, the way it's written, the CrossFit wrote things. If it's a power clean, it'll say
It'll
a
say
power
power
clean.
clean.
Like Elizabeth, right? Is 21:15.9 cleans at 135 and ring dishes. That's a full squat clean. That's not a
Everybody
power
does
clean,
power clean.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
but it is not.
Yeah.
Right? Like Isabel is 30 snatches at 135.
And that's
That's supposed to be squat
snatches.
Okay.
But it's morphed now where people are like,
No.
your Grace is a clean and jerk. You know,
Yeah.
Elizabeth is power cleans and ring dips.
Are you gonna allow the morph? I'm good with the morph.
Oh, and it's to whatever.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Okay, now if
But there's a few, like there's another one that has 3 cleans at 225. And I'll probably squat clean those because I'll have to.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't know
I'll
about
be
that.
tired.
I'll be starfishing 225 if I try to power
So
clean.
yeah,
but-
power clean 225 for me as hard as squat clean at 225. So whatever.
I don't think I put more than 185 on the bar in a while, so I'm gonna have to.
Me
start
either.
working.
It's been a while. But
Yeah.
you would think, as far as like the volume of the 24 workouts in 24 hours, there's really nothing. I mean, do you think there's anything that you could do to prepare for that? Like maybe 2 a days, like just to see how your body feels, like after a couple workouts, or
Yeah, I would say maybe do a 2-day like session where you hit an endurance type WOD and then a quick heavy WOD, just to get your
Right.
body to because we do have some endurance workouts. We have Glenn, where you're going to run a couple miles in that thing. But you've got a lot of barbell stuff, but the heavy stuff is kind of few and far between. But we do have some runs in there.
yeah.
Didn't do any rows because just didn't.
Depending on how many people there.
Yeah.
3 rowers.
Yeah, and then in the night I tried to make it where we weren't running a ton just because we couldn't see.
Right.
But it's gonna be
That's gonna be good.
it's gonna be
It's
cool.
gonna be good.
Do you guys think more about the volume of the workouts or the no sleep part of the workouts?
That's gonna hurt us the most.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the no sleep is kind of where I was, because man, I'm in bed by 10 and I'm sleeping till
Yeah.
5.
I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's the part to me. It's like it's gonna be different for you.
Yeah.
For me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be different. Yeah, for all of us staying up, and hopefully we can get some cat naps here and there. I don't know. I know how my body works. I don't fall asleep that fast. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be
He
that way
does.
from like
Yeah.
stuff from the military, like
Yeah.
which I'm sure you still deal with at the firehouse. Like certain stuff comes up and you won't sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of like
Yeah.
the way it goes. But
And honestly, I think fuel may be more important.
yeah,
So that those times that I'm like, well, I could probably try to sleep for 20 minutes, which will make me groggy.
right.
It's
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
maybe can I get some oatmeal in or a banana,
right,
some honey,
right.
stuff like that. So it'll be cool,
Yeah,
But that's our next thing. That's
That
coming
is.
up in April.
Yeah.
We have Pat's in May,
In May.
May 20th, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then after that, man, I don't know.
And then
Are we looking at a high rock?
I think so. And I don't know where we do it, but I'd like it. We could even do it here. We'd have to split up and make
Well,
it
in
different.
Dallas, if we do it in Dallas, we got a place to stay. My cousin lives in Dallas. She would be more than happy to open her place. So Jenny, if you're watching this,
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, we'll be coming down to Dallas anyway, and they would be totally cool with it. So
When is that one? Do you know?
I think they have it a couple times a year. So we'd have to look, but
Isn't High Rocks located in Denver?
High Rocks, yeah, the
Start-
North American headquarters are in Denver, but they've never had a High Rocks in Denver.
What are
The
you
Denver,
doing? What are you doing, High
the
Rock?
Denver Convention Center, it'd be perfect. The one I did in Pasadena looked a lot like the Denver Convention Center.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
What are you doing, High
I've
Rocks?
even shouted out to them like, hey, any problem having one near your headquarters? They've never answered.
Crickets.
They told me to shut up and travel.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we'd go to Dallas, Chicago, California. None of them are close. None of them are close.
Dallas would be cool though.
Dallas
That'd
would
be
be
fun.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be super cool. I wonder what time of year that one is. 'cause-
They have it a couple times a year. I was thinking that one was in April.
What is it called?
Hyrox, Hyrox. And if they want to sponsor the podcast, they could do that too. Again, it's a Hardcast Park.
We're open to anybody.
Yeah.
High Rocks.
Do we have any live viewers?
3.
3.
Oh, wow.
Thank you
Thanks for
guys
hanging
so
out,
much.
What's
everybody.
the highest you've gotten?
Highest we've gotten. Anyway, hope we're not boring you too much. We're just pretty much shooting the shit with Tryston
Yeah.
and talking about how his
Okay,
dad
thanks,
doesn't eat during races.
But he does drink before.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And after,
So,
apparently.
Both.
kind of leading into our 24 for 24, and then Pat's deal, which you guys absolutely crushed last year. And you weren't exactly doing CrossFit then either.
No, I
But
wasn't
you
doing
would
it
crush
fun.
that now with your endurance background because there's so
Yeah,
much
there's
running.
a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of running. That was
Yeah.
like, I think that was like at the beginning of my
Yes.
Ironman training.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
And I was still doing I was training for the half try too. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
So
still-
the
I had
runs
that.
were
Yeah,
right
the
in
run
your
was
guys'.
easy.
Because we were talking about that.
Right.
We were talking about
Yeah,
that.
the
taking
runs
off
are
on
in
the
your
run,
guys'
that was
wheelhouse.
no big
The
deal.
wall
That was
balls weren't a
great.
big deal.
Yeah.
The
Pull-ups are always just
the
easy.
clean, that
Yeah.
was the hang clean. That's the one thing that was like, oh man, This is getting
Mhm.
hard,
Yeah.
right? But 7 pull-ups,
Yeah.
not a big deal. 10 hang cleans, you got to do
With
it.
that.
21 wall balls, we can do it.
Yep.
Split it up if you have to. The 800-meter run started just killing me. It was like, oh God, we
I
got to
think
do
I'm more
this
nervous about
again.
that this year than like last year. That was the easy part.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right. And
what are you seeing, Trent?
It says November 19th, 2022.
So we're
we
looking
don't
at-
have this
we're
year's.
looking at November
No, I don't
for this
have
year because that'll be part of next year's. So, hey,
that'd be like the week after state volleyball.
oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. So plan it, book
Let's
it.
get it.
Michelle, Aaron, book it. We're booking it now.
It doesn't say.
And we could-
And it'll be High Roxy. Let's get that scheduled.
But we were
Um,
seriously looking at getting a ski erg.
I know.
So I think
I know.
here we have the sled. You'd be able to do a sled push. You'd be able to run.
You'd have
you got the
everything.
800 set.
Yeah, you would have
We've got the
everything.
whole thing. I know it's more than 800, but
Yeah.
900, right? But we've got that marked. So-
Upstairs.
No, we can run outside. If we
Oh,
did it-
gotcha.
We did it like in
Yeah, I did
June or,
upstairs last year,
September, August. something
and
like
then sometimes I'd run a half lap more. I forget how we had it figured out. You had it
that.
figured
Yeah,
out
we
for me.
figured it out.
But yeah, you could do everything here.
Yeah.
You can do your farmer's
And we can run
carries
inside
here.
too.
You got your burpee lane. Like that hallway with the turf was awesome
Oh, it's great.
because I used it for like 4 of the events.
Right.
And it marched everything out. We've got the ropes for the sleds. Everything is perfect.
I think it'd be fun.
And you got the exact same sleds they use. So
How far is that sled push in High Rocks?
50 meters.
50 meters.
Mhm.
So we've got a 30-yard. So
Mhm. Yeah, and basically I did
Basically
down and back. Yeah, down and back, or else I split it in. When I was getting ready for the race, I split it in 12 and a half yards or 13 yards or whatever, because theirs is down, back. It's not a full.
It's not a full 50, and then you come back one way, right?
Yeah, and then and then the way I trained pulling the rope, I didn't do at the race. I did something totally
You
different.
just abandoned
Body
it.
Yeah,
just-
and it was
you're like-
it was one of my quickest things. I was one of the tops in my age group for the pull.
Wow.
So whatever I did, I adapted. But you only have a little box, like you can walk it back. So,
Right.
And that's what I ended up doing because I trained kind of hand over hand, and then I ended up walking it back, and it works pretty well.
Was it better?
you can
Yeah.
walk it back.
Yeah.
You've
I
got
think
a,
it stays
you've got a
steady.
little box where you can walk it back. So you'll see like the pros, they grab, walk it back, come back up.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
So
see.
you have a little way. So you're driving with your legs because you're spent.
It's not just, I thought it was all last, man.
Yeah, no, you're spent.
That'd be tough.
That would be.
That'd be super tough.
So, and that's in my mind, the hardest portions of the high rocks is the push and pull, and they're back to back. So
And then, because is it timed? Like, is it a certain amount of time, or is it rounds? I
it's
guess.
timed. It's from time, and then you end up with 100 wall balls.
Mm.
But that's fine. We can all get through that.
Yeah.
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 Um,
The 100 wall balls kind of is doing that. That became pretty easy.
dude, and in
to me,
our
100 wall balls right now. In my
and
mind
in our
is-
open
yeah,
category, it's
Ugh.
14 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
not yours.
For you guys.
You're
Well, you're
still
gonna go
in your 20s.
expert level or whatever.
Expert.
So, but yeah, so we'll train for that because I think that would be a lot of fun. I think you guys would do extremely well.
You did.
Um,
But yeah, I think just
Yeah.
changing it up, mixing it up all the time is fun.
and it's such fun training, dude. It's the best training I've
Yeah.
had, and I tell you what, it helps my body so much.
Yeah.
It really did. So
Well, and it's good. I mean, I think it's good to switch things up.
Me
Like,
too.
I think it
Mhm.
always is good. Never to, be that bro in the gym hitting chest and shoulders or whatever, and
Hey.
never.
Chest.
just every day. CED, hashtag CED. Yeah.
No, I just think it's good for your body to
Heck
switch it
yeah.
up and to adapt to different things. I think it's important, because
Makes you harder to kill.
Yeah, exactly. It really does.
Yeah.
And
Do I
then
have fast zombies or slow zombies? Am I gonna have to sprint or do I just an endurance race? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's you never know. Like, are they World War Z zombies or are they Walking Dead zombies? Because
Why
there's
are they all
huge-
That's a huge
different? Why are
difference.
they all different?
I don't know, but the
I
World
like the
War
Walking Dead ones, where they just
Well, they're
running.
slow.
Yeah,
And they're-
because World War Z zombies scare the shit out of me, man. They're fast.
Well,
They're
I
wicked
Am
fast.
Legend zombies.
No, they're smart.
I Am
too.
Legend.
Yeah.
That one's
At
smart.
least the World War Z ones, they figured out you just have to be terminally ill, and then they won't.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you doing? Unless it's daytime.
Yeah.
I was in I Am Legend.
This is true.
Dude's nasty.
Yep.
Banging his head against the glass, coming
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And smart enough to be like, okay, we're gonna follow you.
Yeah, work on a mannequin,
Yeah.
you know, and we're
Yep.
gonna mess with you a little bit.
I
Yeah.
killed his dog.
Oh,
That's tough.
That's
the
tough.
worst.
That is
Yeah.
worse.
That's
That's
the worst.
worst.
On that note, dead dog.
At that time, good job, Tryston.
Yeah.
We're in a
Anyway,
good mood.
I think the takeaways we take from this is kind of what Tryston just wrapped up is change it up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change
Have
it
fun
up.
with it.
Have fun with it. Set goals. Hit those goals, set another goal.
Yeah.
Right. And like we've talked before, set those goals high.
Yeah.
Make them freaking hard. Make them where it's like, I don't even know if I can achieve that. Because you're gonna.
And that's how it should be.
Yes.
That's how it should be.
Yes.
Like in trying new things, I didn't even know how to swim for distance when I started the triathlon.
I didn't even know how to
training.
swim.
Right.
Yeah, like I knew how to swim from, like I told you earlier, wrecking on the wakeboard to the boat. And that was
Right.
it. I didn't know how to swim, for 45 minutes or 50
Right.
minutes. So just learning those new things. You could also find something you like, because I
Yeah.
found out I enjoy swimming.
Right.
It's like one of the things that if I like Wednesday, usually I'll just like kind of do a cardio day, and sometimes I'll just go swim and then like get in the sauna for 30 minutes, and then
Yeah.
that's like active recovery. But you're
For
still
sure.
getting good cardio in.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like one of those things
Swimming
where you
is
can
a
find.
great cardio.
It is.
I had
It
no
is.
idea
Mhm.
until I started training for that.
Yep.
It's
Oh, man.
hard.
And I'm excited to get back into that because it'll
Mhm.
come up again. I'll be able to get Sterling on the weekends. And get
Yeah,
going
we'll
again
have to
this
do
spring.
we'll have to do some sprints this summer, because the sprints are easy. It was like 750 meter swim, 16-mile bike ride, then like a 5K.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
that'd
be
be
fun.
Yeah, no, they're super fun. They have those ones, and then like the
Yeah, your Olympic distance.
Olympic
yeah.
distance, yep, which is like a little bit longer.
10K, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
10K run, 30-mile bike ride, like 1,500 meter swim. But the
They're
sprint,
way better.
those ones are nice.
Yeah.
Those ones are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those ones, the people who pass me on the bike, you're like, I'm gonna get you back
Yeah.
on the run.
I'll see
I'm
you
actually
again.
gonna get you
I'll
back.
see you again. Yeah. Yeah, so change things up, set goals, set them high, do things that are going to scare you, but get after it. Tryston, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate the
appreciate
invite,
it.
guys.
Fun.
Really
I
appreciate
appreciate the invite. It was fun. throwing
We'll
down
have
this
to do it
morning.
again. We'll have
Yeah,
to do it
absolutely.
again. Next week,
End of the season.
Yeah.
Let's do a wrap-up show on this, like at the end of
Yeah,
the season, right?
that would be
this
great.
kind of beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're at.
you
the end
guys
of
can
the
show off your High Rocks medals. Just so you heard it here first.
season. Yeah.
Anyway, episode 10 next week, we're going to be rolling out a new 24-week program that Hardline. It has gone. We're calling it from zero to hero. I
Zero to
think,
hero,
right?
basically.
These
yeah.
are it's so you can come
Become
right
your
off
own
the couch.
superhero.
Come right off the couch with no equipment and lead yourself to be a badass in
Yep.
6 short months. Yeah, I'm super excited. This
I
is
am
one of the coolest programs I've ever seen, and I haven't seen anybody else do it.
From, and this will literally, if you're on the couch right now, you're not doing anything, this will transform your life. I promise you. So I'm excited to see.
We've got class 23-1
23-1.
rolling out the 27th. They'll start their first 6-week cycle on the 27th. That's nutrition and 6-week cycle. And we're going to bring a guy on, Dennis Cook, next week. I know him as Cookie. He's coming on here. He's wanting to lose weight. He's wanting to get his nutrition better. And he is like, I will be your guinea pig. You tell me what to do, what to eat. I'm going to do it. And he's going to come on. We're going to talk to him, roll it out to him, and he's going to check in throughout the time.
I'm excited.
It's
I'm
gonna be
very
great.
excited about
It's
this.
going to be great. Episode 9. Hope we didn't bore you to death. We kind of got lost in the weeds there for a while. Ray Keefe,
Sorry,
we
Ray.
apologize. And Sandy Kerr, thanks for watching again.
Thanks,
And
Mom.
next time your son does that half marathon, bring him a sandwich. Bring him peanut butter jelly.
She fed me fried chicken afterwards.
Oh, never mind. You
it was
did your job.
delicious.
Anyway,
It was
thank you so
delicious.
much. Episode 9, Hardline Podcast, Fitness Podcast, over and out.